શ્રી સ્વામિનારાયણ ભગવાનની જય. ગુરુર બ્રહ્મા ગુરુર વિષ્ણુ ગુરુર્દેવો મહેશ્વર ગુરુર સાક્ષાત પરબ્રહ્મ તસ્મૈ શ્રી ગુરુવે નમઃ. જે ઉત્પત્તિ સ્થિતિ લય કરે વેદો સ્તુતિ ઉચરે જેનારોમ સુછિદ્રમાં અણુસમા બ્રહ્માંડ કોટી ફરે માયાકાર રવિ શશી સુરગણો આજ્ઞાન લોપેક્ષણ એવા અક્ષરધામના અધિપતિ શ્રી સ્વામિનારાયણ ધાર્યા સર્વોપરી શ્રીજી ઉર્મહી દાસત્વ અક્ષર બ્રહ્મ સમ સાધુ સર્વદેશ્ય ધૈર્ય અવિચળ દ્રષ્ટિ મહી છે સંબંધ બાપુ સંગે અહો મૈત્રી અનુપમ ભક્તો તણા સુહૃદમ સાક્ષાત કાકા સ્વરૂપ દિવ્ય મૂર્તિ દિનકર ભાઈને નમન. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. ખૂબ જ સુંદર ધૂનનો લાભ આપ્યો. जीवन एक संगीत है कि जीना कोई खेल नहीं है संबंधों के बंधन में चीख चीख चुप रहना चीख चीख चुप रहना घाव घाव मुरझाना है कि जीवनની કળા છે, એક સંગીત છે. એમાં દરેક માણસને આપણા ફેમિલીમાં વાઈફ હોય તો એને પણ રાજી કરતાં શીખવું પડે, એના વિચારને સમજવા પડે. પેરેન્ટ્સ હોય તો એમના વિચારને સમજીને એને પણ રાજી કરતાં શીખવું પડે, ઘાવ પણ સહન કરવા પડે. અને એવું ઘણી બધા વિચારો અલગ અલગ હોય અને અલગ અલગ વિચારોને પકડીને દરેકના અનુકૂળ થવું પડે, ત્યારે એક જીવન એક સફળ જીવન કહેવાય. અને એવા જ ભાવ કે એવી એક કયો વિચાર છે કે જે વિચાર હોય તો આખું જગત રાજી થાય, એવો એક વિચાર. કારણ કે દરેક વ્યક્તિના વિચાર અલગ અલગ હોય અને એ દરેક વ્યક્તિના વિચારો આપણે પકડવા પડે, પણ એવા એક વિચારથી બધું જ ચાલે, બધા જ સુખી થાય, એવો કયો વિચાર છે? તો આપણે એવા અમુક કેસ સ્ટડીઝ કરીશું કે આપણા શાસ્ત્રના આધારે વચનામૃત કેવા કે એમાં કેસ સ્ટડીમાં એવું છે કે એક એવો વિચાર છે, એ વિચારને પામીને બધા ખૂબ રાજી થયા છે. તો પહેલો છે છાંદોગ્ય ઉપનિષદમાં છે. આપણે નારદજી અને સનત કુમાર છે, સનત સુજાત, એનું આખ્યાન છે. નારદજી એકદમ દુઃખી છે, હી ફિલિંગ સેડ, એટલે એ આ સનત સુજાત પાસે જાય છે. અધિહિ ભગવઃ, નારદજી એવું પૂછે છે કે મને જ્ઞાન આપો. એટલે સનત સુજાત તો નારદજીને ઓળખે ને, એટલે કે ભાઈ તને જ્ઞાન આપું, ફર્સ્ટ ટેલ મી, તું પેલા એ કહે કે તું શું શીખ્યો છે. સનત સુજાત નારદજીને એવું પૂછે છે કે તમે શું શીખ્યા છો અત્યાર સુધી. તો નારદજી કહે છે ઋગ્વેદમ ભગવો અશ્યમી યજુર્વેદમ સામવેદ. આ તો હજુ શોર્ટ લિસ્ટ છે કે હું યજુર્વેદ ભણ્યો છું, સામવેદ ભણ્યો છું, બધા ચારે ચાર વેદ ભણ્યો છું, ઇતિહાસ પણ ભણ્યો છું આખા જે શ્લોકમાં. પછી કે સર્પ વિદ્યા પણ ભણ્યો છું, ભવિષ્ય વિદ્યા, સર્પ વિદ્યા, પછી આપણા મનુષ્ય વિદ્યા કે ભાઈ કયા માણસને કઈ રીતે હેન્ડલ કરવો એ પણ મને આવડે છે. નિધિશાસ્ત્ર, તર્કશાસ્ત્ર, નીતિશાસ્ત્ર, દેવતાઓની વિદ્યા, પછી વેદના બધા અંગો, ન્યાયશાસ્ત્ર, એવી રીતે આખું લિસ્ટ બનાવે છે કે આટલું બધું ભણ્યો છું. એટલે આજકાલ જે બધી યુનિવર્સિટીમાં જે શીખવાડે છે એ બધું જ નારદજી ભણ્યા છે. હવે આપણા જેવા ગુરુ હોય કે ભાઈ તું અહીંયા બેસ, હું નીચે બેસું છું, હવે તું મને શીખવાડ. પણ સનત સુજાત પછી નારદજી કહે છે કે આટલું બધું ભણ્યો છું છતાં સોહમ ભગવો શોચામી, હું શોકમાં ડૂબેલો છું. નારદજી એવું કહે છે. પછી સનત સુજાત કે આ તો તું કશું ભણ્યો નથી, યુ હેવ લર્ન નથિંગ, તું ખાલી ભણ્યો છું. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવાય ને કે ભણ્યો છે પણ ગણ્યો નથી, એવું એમ કહી પછી એ બ્રહ્મ વિદ્યા કહે છે કે નામ બ્રહ્મ, કે તું બ્રહ્મ વિદ્યા ભણ્યો છે. એવી રીતે સનત સુજાત આખું એક બ્રહ્મ વિદ્યાની વાત કરે છે. અને પછી બ્રહ્મ વિદ્યા પરથી એમને પરબ્રહ્મ કહેવાય, તને પરબ્રહ્મનું જ્ઞાન થાય એટલે બ્રહ્મ વિદ્યા. પછી નારદજીને શાંતિ થાય છે. બીજો એક્ઝામ્પલ આપણા મહારાજનો, કે મહારાજના સંતો મહારાજને કહે છે કે અમે તમારા માટે આટલું આટલું તો કરી શકીએ છીએ, મટકું ના ભરીએ મીટે, વી કેન રિમેઇન વિધાઉટ બ્લિંકિંગ. પછી કે આપણે ઉઘાડા અંગે રહીએ, હિમમાં બરફમાં ઉઘાડા અંગે નેકિડ, અમે આટલું કરી શકીએ. પછી કે પાથરવાનું હોય તો કશું પાથર્યા વગર પણ સૂઈ શકીએ, ભૂખ્યા પેટે પણ રહી શકીએ, આટલું બધું તો અમે કરી જ શકીએ છીએ. પણ મહારાજ શું કહે છે? મહારાજ કે અગ્રી, મહારાજ તમે બોલિયા સર્વે સાચું, બીજામાં પણ નથી કાચું. તમે આ બધું જ કરી શકો છો, આઈ નો, તમે એક એકથી અધિક છો, એક એકથી અધિક છો તમે, એવું જાણ્યું જરૂર અમે. તમે એક એકથી અધિક છો એવું વી નો, બટ ધેન સ્ટીલ ધેર ઇઝ સમથિંગ મિસિંગ. પછી કે એક વાત કહું માનો તેહ, આપણે આત્મા નહીં દેહ, માનો ચૈતન્ય રૂપ તમારું, દુઃખ રૂપ દેહ તેથી ન્યારું. મહારાજે વિચાર આપ્યો કે આત્માનો વિચાર, તમે આટલું બધું કરો છો, દેટ ઇઝ ઓકે, બટ દેટ ઇઝ નથિંગ, તમે આત્મામાં માનો. પછી ત્રીજો કેસ સ્ટડી કાકાજી, 1986. કાકાજી વાત કરે છે કે એક કળશ તો ચડી ગયો રાજા, તમે મંદિર બનાવ્યું છે સરસ છે, ઉપર કળશ પણ ચડાવ્યો છે, બટ ધ મેઇન કળશ ઇઝ કે હવે ગુણાતીત ભાવનાવાળા સાધુ બનો. એટલે પાછો અને બ્રહ્મ ભાવનો વિચાર. એટલે આવા 3 કેસ સ્ટડી. અને આજે આપનો જે ટોપિક છે એ આ છે કે હવે પહેલાં આપણે શું જોયું કે પહેલાં આપણે અદ્વૈત ભાવની વાત કરી, આપણે દ્વૈત ભાવ કે મોટા પુરુષને રાજી કરીએ છીએ, દરેક ક્રિયામાં મોટા પુરુષને રાજી કરવાની ભાવના છે, દરેક ક્રિયામાં મોટા પુરુષને જોવા છે દરેક વ્યક્તિમાં. પણ નાવ વી હેવ બીકમ વન વિથ ગુણાતીત પુરુષ, અદ્વૈત ભાવ, વિશિષ્ટ અદ્વૈત ભાવ, કે હવે આપણે એવા ગુણાતીત ભાવનાવાળા સાધુ બનીએ. તો આપણે દિનકર અંકલે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ કે આપણને સરસ એવી સૂઝ બૂઝ અને સમજણ આપે, તો આપણે એવા ગુણાતીત ભાવમાં જલ્દી ને જલ્દી જીવતા થઈએ. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની.
जय गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर, गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव. जे उत्पत्ति स्थिति लय करे वेदो स्तुति उच्चरे, जेना रोम सुछिद्रमा अणुसमा ब्रह्मांड कोटि फरे. माया काळ रवि शशि सुरगणो आज्ञान लोपेक्षण, एवा अक्षरधामना अधिपति श्री स्वामी नारायण. જેની અમૃતવાણી તો વહી રહી સાક્ષાત મહિમા રૂપે, જેની બ્રાહ્મી સ્થિતિ અહોલીન કરે સુભવ્ય અક્ષર પદે, શરણાગત નિજ અલ્પ જીવ સહુના શ્રેયાર્થ તત્પર રહે, કાકા સ્નેહલ સિંધુ દિવ્ય વિભુને હૈયું તો વંદન કરે. સજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. સર્વે ગુણાતીત સ્વરૂપોની જય જય જય. પ્રગટ બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ કાકાજી મહારાજ, પપ્પાજી મહારાજ, સ્નેહલ સિંધુ દિવ્ય બંધુ શતાબ્દી પર્વ મહોત્સવની જય જય જય. પ્રગટ બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ હરિપ્રસાદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય જય જય. પ્રગટ બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ જસભાઈ સાહેબ સર્વ સુરદમ પર્વ મહોત્સવની જય જય જય. સદગુરુદેવ કી જય જય જય. आज के आनंद की जय जय जय. सर्वे गुणातीत स्वरूपोनी जय जय जय. I kind of missed the bhajan sandhya. I thought when I came in, bhajan sandhya was just to start. But then when they wind it up, I said, well, I missed it. Yeah, we were writing some messages to our Darshan Bhai, our Kuntal Bhai, and Krishna Ben, and Raj Bhai, and Nimay Bhai, and Hiren Bhai. No, Hiren, na? Hiren Bhai. So I was busy writing nice messages to them. Our Pindu Bhai and Bhayo has bought a book for them to read. Nice small essays and topics, So Pindu Bhai says that if we can give them nice message also, So I was busy there. The Advait and Vishisht Advait principle. We have talked before also, on this. That our saints and sages have realized over many, many years something higher than what normal human mass would be experiencing and living. In the morning we were talking one thing about invasion in India, right? That a lot of nations or countries have tried to invade India, And we started out with Muslim invasion, But if we go back further to the history, that even us Aryans invaded India, And we moved from Middle Asia, and came over there, And now we claim that India is ours, But whatever has happened, those Aryans who came there, they really benefited a lot by coming to India compared to those who remained in Middle Asia and other places. And what did they benefit? India was a very established zone for the temperatures, weathers, and culture, fertile land for a lot of grains and fruits and vegetables and flowers, So those who came there, their hardship ended, and they became more prosperous, more happy. આપણા આર્ય પ્રજા હજારો વર્ષ પહેલાં ઇન્ડિયામાં જ્યારે આવી ત્યારે એને એવો દેશ મળ્યો કે ત્યાં આગળ એને શાંતિથી રહેવાનું મળે, અનાજ પાણી બધું સરસ મળે, ઋતુઓ પણ સરસ રીતે વરસે, એટલે એક શાંતિ મળી. અને શાંતિના ફળરૂપે એમને અંદરથી એક વિચાર આવ્યો કે આ જીવન પછી પણ કોઈ બીજું હાયર જીવન હોઈ શકે? સામાન્ય આપણું જીવન ખાવું પીવું અને ઘરડા થવું મરી જવું, એનાથી કોઈ બીજું સારું જીવન હોઈ શકે? અને એના વિચારથી જે એની ખોજ માટે નીકળી ગયા એ બધા ઋષિ મુનિઓ અને સંતો કહેવાયા. Those who went out from their home to search for the higher level of happiness, went to the jungle, did meditation, and did a lot of penance and other things. And they learned from that there is a higher entity. We don't understand it, but they have powers, So they accepted those higher entities as their deities. Wind god, fire god, sun god, moon god, and all those. And by tuning with them, they realize that yes, there is higher level of entity. So then they realize that above these gods, there must be some higher level of God, So then they realize that there are 33 crore such powerful entities, devatas, And it is respectful to them that at least they categorize 33 crore, those kind of, powerful entities. Devatas, So then they thought that somebody must be above this 33 crore devata, So then they realized that there is a devata, Indra, who is the king of all these 33 crore devatas, Then they realized that above Indra there is a creator, and who is Brahma. So he is even above all these. And Brahma has not only the human beings, the devatas, but there is another side which is demons or the ghost and other group also. And Brahma is creator of all that. Then they went to higher thinking and saying that above Brahma there is another entity who is Vishnu. And then they think of all these incarnations coming from Lord Vishnu to protect and help the good people. So there is a system of justice, there is a balance in the nature, And then they understood about Lord Shiva also, In Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva is born out of Brahma's forehead. There is a story on that, that when Brahma created 4 sons out of the spiritual Utpatti, Sankadik. And Brahma says that my goal is to propagate, to have more population. And you go to jungle first, do the penance, austerities and meditation, and then become pure. And when you are at the age of marriage, you come back and you fulfill my wish to expand the families. Those Sankadiks, they were pure from the mind of Brahma. It was Mansik Sushti, not Maithuning Sushti, So, Sankadik says that, yes, father, we will go to jungle, we will do austerity and meditations and all that, but we have no interest to come back and get tangled into the family life. And they left. So the Brahma became unhappy and upset that these kids are not listening to me. And that day onward, this problem is still going on, Kids don't listen all the way. So, Brahma became upset. And from his upset, the tamogun portion created an entity which was Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva started crying and saying that I will fulfill whatever your needs are, but give me 2 things, the places and the wives. And Brahma arranged for that, But did not tell him to send all these children to the jungle and do meditation and austerity, So all those who were created, they were ghosts and, other negative entities, And then there is a lot of other, stories in Srimad Bhagavad also. But this is how the 3 entities are created, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, Then our sages thought even higher, and saying that, can there be anything above these 3 Saguna entities? And then they realized that Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Shankarshan are another 3 Saguna entities higher than Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Then there is another quest to go even higher. Then they reach to the status saying that there are some Nirguna entities, beyond the modes of nature. There are 4 Nirguna entities. So 10 such entities make up one world, And then they say that there are innumerable worlds and they all have these 10 entities. And they are all controlled by an entity called Prakriti and Purush. And there are innumerable Prakriti and Purush. And they are controlled by the entity called Mahapurush and Mahamaya. Up to there is the expansion of the Mahapurush and Mahamaya. And then above that is the 4th entity, which is called Brahma or Akshar. And there are innumerable Akshar entities in the abode beyond all this creation of Prakriti, Purush, Mahamaya. So, this search created a new vision, new perception in spirituality. Part of that search was that when they were praying to their deities, they felt that they are different from that deity, They are distinctly different from the deity. The one who would worship the sun god would think that sun god is different from the worshipper. But when the worship became more tuned, more oneness with their deity, then they were one with that deity. So, when they were two separate entities, the deity and the worshipper, it was a Dvait Bhav. They are two. Dvait means two, It was a worshipping entity and the deity entity. But when that thing elevated to a higher and higher and closer association with each other, they started to become one, merge with each other, And then they assumed that sun in the sky and I am also the sun are one. Even though there is a difference, in the actual magnanimity. The sun in the sky is so big, so hot, so far away, But tuning, spiritually, tuning from within gave them that kind of oneness with the deities, with the God, And that came as an Advait principle. When God takes the human form on the earth, the devotees are also trying to worship that deity during the time of God or after God has left the body. During the time of Lord Ram, a lot of people worshipped him, but not to the extent as maybe Hanumanji worshipped him. And today is Hanuman Jayanti, so we remember Hanumanji, that he was not from the human class, Hanumanji. He was from the monkey class, But his association with Lord Ram was so elevated that even to date, after 10,000 years, if we say Lord Ram was born, 10,000 years ago, there is no second Hanuman who is, standing or sitting next to the original Hanuman, He was unique. He was one. There are more devotees, who have been, very similar to Hanumanji or maybe whatever, but not from the monkey class. Somebody has come and become second Hanuman, Now we know that Hanumanji was incarnation of Rudra, Lord Shiva, But to date, Hanumanji is unique, in devotional services. And what Hanumanji had a devotion with Lord Ram started out with Dvait Bhav. In Ramayana, it states that when Lord Ram was looking for Sita, that Ravan had kidnapped Sita, and he came to the Rishimukh mountain where Sugriv, Jambuvan, Nard, Nil, Hanumanji and all others were staying there because Sugriv was driven out by his elder brother Vali from the Kiskinda, and Vali had a curse that he cannot come to Rishimukh. And there is a story for that also, You must have read, so I don't want to go into that. But Sugriv found this place for shelter, that Vali cannot come, so he was living there. And early in the morning he had a dream that two powerful personalities came and gave and fought with his brother and killed his brother and gave the Kiskinda back to him. He was dreaming that way, And he woke up in the morning and down the road he saw these two, Lord Ram and Lakshmanji, resting under the tree, And what he saw in the dream, he matched that, Those are the two same men. But he was afraid of them, rather than knowing them that they are the incarnation of God, So then he told all those people that those two people, I was dreaming and they killed my brother in the dream. So then Jambuvan was saying, that Lord Ram has taken the birth, and I have heard in Ramayana that he is going to come to this area. So maybe it is Lord Ram and his brother Lakshman, So then Hanumanji says that when I was young, I was very naughty, and I was blessed by all the deities that I will not have any curse. So I was throwing away the rock to wash the clothes in the lake, deep into the water of the sages, and sages were upset, and they were not knowing how to treat me, because I will not accept any curse, I had a blessing not to have any curse. So they went to their head Rishi, and the head Rishi says that you gave him the blessings in a form of curse. Then he will accept. So they brought Hanumanji close to this head Rishi, and head Rishi says, listen, Lord Ram will be coming to these jungles and he will meet with you. And you will become his choicest devotee. But until then, all your powers will be hidden. Your energy will be now hidden. And he started jumping because he would find God, But he forgot this second half, that his powers will be hidden. So he accepted that, and boom, he became a normal person. Now he goes to lift the rock, but he cannot lift the rock. So now it was all okay, that they were happy. And Hanumanji was happy hoping that he would meet Lord Ram, So he said that I was told that I would meet Lord Ram, so maybe the time has come. So he is telling on behalf of everybody, let me go and check out, whether he is really God, Lord Ram or not. And then Hanumanji goes there, jumps on the trees and makes very loud noise and shakes up the trees, branches, So Lord Ram, his eyes were closed, so he opens up his eyes, looks at Hanumanji, smiles at him, and tells Lakshman that Lakshman, this is not a common monkey. This monkey has Janoi and Vajraka Choto. So he must be Hanumanji. Hanumanji heard that. But Hanumanji still made a small mistake, And he said that, yes, my mother told me that whoever looks at you and sees the Jano and Vajraka Choto will be your God. But now I want to see how strong my God is. That was a mistake. So he broke one branch and threw at Lord Ram. Lord Ram swiftly got up, put the arrow, and hit with the arrow, and the branch got lost, and Hanumanji also got up in the air and just going in circle. And it was not stopping. It was going on and on and on. So finally Hanumanji prayed to his father, Vayudev, that I cannot get out of this. Now I know he is God, but what can I do now? And Vayudev says, well, you have to pay the price of your mistake, He says, I will not make any mistake again. Then Vayudev says, okay, I will use my extra power and unwind you, from winding. And then Hanumanji was in the normal mode and came down, and then he prayed to Lord Ram. And that prayer is very beautiful, that Hanumanji prayed to Lord Ram. So, that point, it was a Dvait Bhav between Hanumanji and Ram. And then, as he became closer to Lord Ram and gained this nishtha and all this oneness with Lord Ram, then he became Advait with Lord Ram. And that Advait Bhav is in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Gopis, they had Advait Bhav with Lord Krishna. And they were saying that I have Govardhan Parvat on my pinky finger, I am Krishna. I have controlled this Kali Nag, I have killed Aghasur and this. So gopis also had that Advait Bhav, with Lord Krishna. So that is the process in our sadhana, that we ultimately reach to the level of Advait Bhav. But in Advait Bhav, there is a little risk also. That when you are not properly matured and attain that Advait Bhav, then your ego will inflate. And that ego will make you to be in competition with God, your own deities, There is one story in Swamini Vato that there was one dog who ran after a wolf and came in the shelter of a sage. Dog ran and wanted to protect from that wolf. So he came to the shelter of the sage. The sage was merciful, So sage took the water from his vessel, did the mantra, and threw it on the dog and said, you become wolf. So dog became a wolf. Stronger, So then, one day, that wolf was chased by a tiger. And the wolf knew where to go. The wolf came to the tiger, to the sage, And sage knew that why the wolf has come, So he took water again, throw on him and say, you become tiger. So he became tiger. One day, a tiger was haunted by another wild animal, Sharab. And tiger came running to the sage. Rishi was smiling. He took water and said, "You become Sharab." Now the Sharab started, doing all this killing and other things and testing all varieties of meats of different animals. One day this Sharab said, "I have tasted every kind of meat, but I have not tasted the meat of this human being, my Rishi, The thought came to the mind of the Sharab to kill his own master, who has given all this. And when the eyes became different, Rishi figured it out, took the water and said, "Kutta ho ja." Become the dog. So this is the problem with Advait principle, that when you are in competition with your own God, with your own master, then you fall down again. So to be careful in that principle of Advait, Swaminarayan Bhagavan has given a Vishisht Advait principle. Advait, but Vishisht Advait. That no matter how much great you become by the grace of God, but you are still humble of the humblest. You are still nothing in front of God. Because if God has given you $1 million, and if you give your $1 million to somebody, you are back to zero. All your powers are gone. But if God gives $1 million to you, the power of God is unchanged, still same. He is so big, He is so powerful, that whatever He gives, still Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Whatever you take out from infinity, still it is infinity. Whatever you add into infinity, still infinity. It's not infinity plus add, That is Purnam. And God is Purnam. So, a devotee who has the Advait Bhav with this feeling that whatever I have acquired is by God's grace, but I am nothing. Not only that I am nothing in front of God, but I am nothing in front of His choicest devotees, or His devotees' Dasanudas. Then the true Vishisht Advait situation remains stable. And our goal is to live that kind of consciousness of Vishisht Advait, that I am nothing, I am just humble of the humblest. We can talk a lot, but I don't know how much more other speakers were supposed to talk also. And there are still speakers to talk. So we can continue with our program. Tejahanand Swami Maharaj ni Jai Jai Jai.